Alright, so the first step is we're going to open Operation Excel sheet from the workbook from the drive and folder where your data files are stored. This is for project 4.3. So we're going to go to Open and Excel, and we're on lesson 4, so we're going to go in here and go to Operation. And then the first thing we're going to do is save this as Operation Results, followed by your initials. And I've already got one saved that way, so I'll make mine 2. So our next step is to enter the formulas in the specified cells that perform the operations listed below. After you enter each formula, write the resulting value in the space provided. So A says, for cell C3, we're going to add the values in cells A3 and B3. So, first thing we do to start off a formula is our equal sign. And that starts us out where we can just click into these cells, A3 plus B3. And your resulting value in C3 should be 139. And we're going to go to C4. Subtract the value in cell B4 from the value in cell A4. Now, when we do subtraction, it's really tricky. The way that they word it is really confusing. So, the value in B4 from the value in cell A4 actually means A4 minus B4. So, equals A4 minus B4. And 55 should be your resulting value. There should not be any negatives on this sheet. Then for C5, we're going to start out with our equal sign again, and we're going to multiply the value in cell A5 using our asterisk for the multiplication by the value in B5. And hit enter, and we have 1,426 as our resulting value. Next we're going to go to C6, and we've got divide. So of course we're going to equals again, and the value in A6 is divided by the value in B6. So for dividing we use not a question mark but the backslash or the forward slash, and we're going to click on B6 and enter, and it should be 44. And we're going to move down to E, which is B7. So B7 right here. Sum the values in the range B3 through B6. Now you could use equals and you could just enter sum and then use that range. But if you go up here to the right, this auto sum will actually grab all the values right above it. This grabs all the values right above it and automatically will loop those into the sum. So instead of hitting enter this time, I'm going to click the check mark up in the top in the formula bar, and that's another way to enter that formula and get the resulting value of 202. Next we're going to go to D3, and D3 says add the values in cells A3 and B3 and then multiply by 3. Now if it says to do something first and then another function or another action, you're going to want to make sure that that happens first, because if you look at the order of operations or the order of evaluation as Excel has it, that multiplication is going to be first if it doesn't have parentheses. So we first have to put the parentheses and have A3 plus B3, and then, like it says, and then multiply it by 3. And there's our resulting value. So we're going to do the same thing as we go down the line here, and in D4 add the values in A3 and A4, and then we're going to multiply by B3. So we've got to get the multiplication out again and click B3 and enter. D5, we're going to copy the formula in cell D4 to D5. So here's the formula in D4. Now, there's a couple ways to copy. You can just copy and paste, or you can use the fill tool and just fill it down just like that. For D6, we're going to subtract the value in cell B6 from the value in cell A6 and then divide by 2. Now again, if we use divide first without the parentheses, that's what's going to happen first. And remember, when it says the value in B6 subtracted from the value in A6, it means A6 minus B6. So, parentheses A6 minus B6. Then we're going to divide by 2. And we've got 86. The last thing, divide the value in cell A6. Start it off with an equal sign. Divide the value in A6 by 2, and then subtract the value in cell B6. Now, let's just say I do this, and then we do this minus B6, right? That's not necessarily what we want, and it'll change drastically if I go in here. I'm going up to the formula bar, and I'm going to put in these parentheses that need to be there. There's our resulting answer. Alright, last step, it says in cell A1 to enter our name and save it. And that is all the steps for project 4.3.